Hey there friends, welcome back to my channel. Shalita here. So for today I want to talk to you guys about all the books that I read in the month of September. I am pretty darn proud of myself. I have read 43 books so far this year, and my goal for this year is 50, so almost there. So for September, I read 6 books, which so far that has been, I think that's the most books that I've read in a month. So maybe for October we can beat that record. Maybe we can do seven books. So let's just jump right into things. So the first book that I read in September was October Academy, The Beginning, by Neil Nicole and Michaela Hornado. Hang on, before I jump into things, if you all hear like cars whizzing by, you hear rain, you hear the birds tweeting, yada yada yada, it is raining outside. I have the windows open because I plan to film a little cozy little rainy reading vlog. So I went ahead and opened the doors. You know, let's turn the air off, baby. Let in the Lord's natural air conditioning. So anyway, just that little disclaimer. All right, so back to it. So October Academy. This one was a fantasy / romantasy, and our main characters are Mira and her brother Koa. So the book is dual POV, so we get Mira's perspective and we get Koa's perspective. So this book is I don't want to say it's like based on Mayan mythology, but it has a lot of, I guess it has a relation to Mayan mythology. So I thought that was really refreshing. I think this is probably the first book that I've read that is like rooted in Mayan mythology. All right, so Mira and Koa's parents are like these high-ranking political figures, and Mira and Koa, they don't want any part of that life. Right? So Koa is like this bad boy. He's involved in like some shady businesses, some underground clubs, yada yada yada, and so forth. You know, he gives off like this, he makes the book give off like this mafia vibe, you know, like this dark romance, dark mafia vibe. And Mira is kind of, she's not, I don't want to say she's the opposite. I think Mira has just been sheltered for so long and in her little shell, but deep down inside, you know, she's got some little ways about her too. So anyway, so basically Mira completes undergraduate studies. She's graduated, and now after undergrad, you're supposed to move on to your graduate studies. Their society or their world, people have magic powers, and they are like ranked on a system. Like, you know, there are 1s, there's 2s, there's 3s and 4s. You don't gain your powers until like after your 22nd birthday or something like that, once you get into graduate school. So like I said, Mira and Koa have done everything they can to kind of avoid their parents. Mira's parents pull some strings and they get her into like the elite graduate school, you know? So this book has a lot of like, I don't want to say it's not secret society, but it's got like this dark, gritty, underground world, secrets and lies, political drama stuff going on. A really good read, but it was long, and a lot of times it felt like we were just kind of following along their lives, and I didn't know exactly, like I was looking for a plot. I'm like, this is a fantasy. I'm looking for a mission. And it was more or less, I guess, about kind of following their journey along, all the secrets that were being told and withheld from each other, and, you know, what's going to happen when people find out type situation. So I enjoyed it, but I needed a plot to keep me. And it just didn't feel like there was one a lot of times. And so I kind of felt myself like putting the book down often, fiddling around with my phone and other things. yeah, I liked it, but I needed, I guess, I needed it to be shorter, and I needed it, no, I needed more of a plot. Um, yeah, but I liked it. Just it was like it wasn't a love. The next book that I read in September was Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan. And this is book 1 in the Hoop series. Y'all already know how I feel about Kennedy Ryan. This book was so good. So good. Okay. So you already know it's Kennedy Ryan, so it's a romance. But you also know it's Kennedy Ryan, so we are getting more than just romance. I will say, trigger warning on this one. Domestic violence and rape. And when I tell you, like, this, seriously, this book is the violence is very descriptive. It is very, very hard to read. It's detailed. The rape is detailed. So, please, take care in reading this. I'm just off top, trigger warnings right there. I was sobbing at times, guys. This was a hard read. Like, it really was, but it was so good. It was so powerful. Get the dual POV. You get our main female characters, Iris, and then our main male character, who is not the bad guy, but our main male character, our hero in here, is August. But to listen to her describe what she's going through, to listen to her when she's in pain, listen to her when she's trying to disassociate, when she is feeling helpless at times, it just takes your breath away. It just sits on your chest. It's so powerful. And Kennedy doesn't just show the physical domestic violence. She shows the many forms of domestic violence, because when people hear the word domestic violence, they automatically just assume physical abuse. But there's so many more aspects to it. There's financial abuse, there's emotional, psychological, and Kennedy addresses all that. The way that perpetrators will try to isolate you from your friends and families, and it just, oh man, y'all, it was hard to read, but it was so good. Okay, so I guess this one is more or less like a second chance romance. So Iris and August meet one night in a bar. They're both just sitting there, and then they start chatting about basketball stats, basketball, whatever. Iris is a fan of basketball, but she also recognizes that August is this, big time, college basketball player. So they hit it off, they're chatting it up, they're hitting it off, and August is like, wow, the connection's there. He's ready to make his move. And then she's like, I got a man. So what happened? So years later, their paths cross again, and it just keeps kind of happening like this throughout the story. Like, their paths just kind of keep crossing over the years, and it's like, wow, is it fate trying to bring them back together? So that's the good parts of the story, is that part. And then, of course, then you have the bad. So Iris is in a relationship with this other basketball player. He's also a big time college ball player, and eventually, he gets into the league, into the NBA. August gets into the NBA, and so for their college careers, they've been basically rivals. In their professional career, the rivalry continues, right? So this story, like I said, it follows Iris's relationship with her, her abusive partner, and then you have August on the other hand, who's like that old school song, like girl, I want to be your man. A really good book, really powerful, makes you sob. There's a happy ending, I will say that much, without giving a spoiler, because I don't think I've read a romance book yet that hasn't had a happily ever after. Comment down below if you have comment down below if you've read a romance novel that did not have a happy ending in some way, shape, or form, like that are, because I want to read it, I guess. It's gonna make me mad, clearly, that nobody had a happy ending, but yeah, this one does have a happy ending, so it does, but it's dark at times, but whenever August and Iris get together, you feel it. You feel their connection. It's so good, I want to read it again. I want to go back and read it and annotate, because there was just so many like powerful quotes in there. So definitely at some point I will be rereading it. The next book that I read was The Book of Sin by H.M. Wolf. And I received the e-copy, the e-arc, and then she sent out these amazing PR boxes, and the physical book came in there, and I was like, oh, we're gonna read the physical. We got the physical now. We got to read the physical. But I kind of toggled back and forth. So like at night in bed, I'd read the e-arc, and then I'd read this one during the day and whatnot. So as you can see, I did a little annotating. This was a debut novel for this author, and it is a fantasy / romantasy. So in this book, we have like several, I don't know if I'm gonna say kingdoms or realms. We have several kingdoms or realms, right? Our main character is Hyacinth / Sin. They call her Sin. So in this book, so in the realm that Hyacinth lives in, once you reach, I think it's like the age of 21 or 22, you can choose to leave this realm, or you can choose to stay. So Hyacinth was orphaned. She's an orphan. She's living in this orphanage for orphans, right? And they basically are training these children, up until their late teens, early 20s, survive, how to defend themselves, how to live. They take, training classes and all that. So Hyacinth, she wants to learn where she came from. She was orphaned at, I think, at like the age of 4 or something like that. So was it 4 or maybe 6? I don't know, can't remember the age, doesn't matter, whatever. She wants to explore the great wide world. She wants to get out there. But like the day before her like ceremony, her farewell day, the orphanage, the school, gets attacked. So in the story, there are like low-level powers and there's high-level powers. So basically off book, there was this, and it's referenced to in the book, there was like this great war between like the royals, like royal families, kings, queens, or whatever, and these high priests and priestesses. It was a war over power, basically. So basically like high level power, high level magic has been, I guess, like eradicated, outlawed, whatever. The world and the realms are ruled by high priests and high priestesses. So the orphanage where Sin, Sin and her friends, where they live, gets attacked because there is this rumor or this ancient prophecy about a child that is gifted, that has these powers and whatnot. And so these high priests and priestesses, they've heard about it and they want this kid because, they want the kid, maybe exploit the kid for its powers, to steal the kid's powers somehow. The orphanage gets attacked, and Hyacinth reveals herself to have powers, like great powers. So now they're worried about her, because it's like, okay, well, now the big baddies are not only after some little kid, but now they probably want Hyacinth too. So they have to, her and her friends have to flee the orphanage, flee their realm, and get to safety. So we kind of follow their journey to get Hyacinth to safety, right? So, lots of adventure, lots of peril, and, a perilous journey. Okay, so basically Hyacinth and her friends set out on this quest to leave their realm, try to get to safety so they can regroup and possibly find this child that has been prophesized about and help protect that child, but also protect Sin, because now the bad guys will know that she has these higher level powers as well and probably want to exploit her or hurt her. A lot of secrets in this one too. Secrets, prophecies, destinies, all the things that you love about fantasy. And I did mention the romanticy aspect. So, Sin does have a boyfriend. He is absolute trash. So, trigger warning here, domestic violence. There's also rape that's mentioned in the book, but it's alluded to. One of the things that I love in fantasy books, and I think even in most of the romance books that I read, is like the familial bonds, the friend groups. They have such a good, this friend group has such a great relationship. This was a really good book. And yeah, she thick. I mean, the arc is thick. I'm pretty sure the final copy, when she did all her edits or whatever, probably just as daggone thick, but so good. I mean, I don't know, if a fantasy book isn't thick, is it good? This one's like, let's see, how many pages is this? This is the acknowledgments. So 578 pages. Worth it though. I mean, worth it. Very much so. The next book that I read in September was Blockshot by Kennedy Ryan. Book number 2 in the Hoop series. And this one was really good. I rated this one 4 stars. This one was much lighter than book 1. Much lighter, subject wise. But this one was, I don't know what's on here. This one was good. Like I said, I think I rated this one 4 stars. Alright, just a couple cars going by. Alright, so this one follows, was that on there? Alright, sorry, I'm like looking at this, I'm like, is this a stain on the book or is this supposed to be on there? It's supposed to be on there. Okay, so this one follows, also, so our main characters in this one are Banner and Jared. And Jared is the stepbrother of August. So Barrett and Banner and Jared are former college besties, right? So they were really great friends in undergrad, in college, and they kind of hook up in college. They started as friends, and then they have this one night hookup. It goes from a beautiful moment to a disaster, and neither of them ever, are, they're not quite the same after that. So their relationship is kaput after that. So Banner moves away. She's on one side of the globe. Jarrett's on the other side. So this is a second chance romance. So anyway, 10 years go by. They are both killing it in their careers. They are both, I guess, sports agents. They're sports agents, sports marketing, something along those realms. They're agents, sports agents. So 10 years go by, no communication, but they're both excelling in their field. And then they happen to run into each other again. Same place, same time. But for Jarrett, the old feelings surface, like the good feelings, like damn, this woman looks good. He's remembering things and how great things were. But for Banner, it's the exact opposite. She remembers the bad, right? But at this point, she's already moved on. But Jarrett is one determined man. And he's determined that, well, I think he tries to fight the feelings at first, but then he realizes, but for him, he's like this, I don't see Jarrett's a jerk, but he's this type A personality, and he's driven. And for him, Banner has been the only woman she's his equal. She's the only woman that he even says in the book, you're the only person that I can bear to talk to. You're the only person that I want to be bothered with. I don't like most people, but I like you type situation. So we just kind of follow their journey back to each other, the push and the pull, that attraction, will they, won't they type situation. This one's fun. It's got spice. I mean, it gets spicy. It gets spicy. Nothing too bad. Nothing too over the top. It's not dark romance spice, but it's got a fair amount of spice. The next book that I read was Hidden Pictures by Jason. Ooh, I'm gonna butcher his name, just so y'all know. Let's go ahead and get that out the way. Okay, the next book that I read was The next book that I read was Hidden Pictures by Jason Rakulek. And this one was a horror / thriller / paranormal thriller horror situation. Now, this book was good. I read it on my Kindle, and I listened to the I borrowed the audiobook on the Libby app. This was so good. I think I rated it 4 stars, but definitely good, creepy, very creepy. So in this book, our main character is Mallory. So Mallory she's 18 months clean and sober, and she's been living in a sober living house, and she's looking for a job, and her sponsor helps her find this job, this job as a nanny. It's a live-in position. So she goes to the job interview, and she meets the mom. The mom works at a VA hospital. She's a nurse. I think she's a nurse. I think the mom is a nurse at a VA hospital working with veterans with substance abuse issues. So the sponsor has already been, which I kind of felt did the sponsor really tell all her business? Because it sounded like the sponsor did kind of tell her backstory, but I'm is that his place? It wasn't his place to do, right? Anyway, okay, let's not speculate any further. Anyway, so she goes to the interview. The mom loves her. They hit it off, right? But the dad comes home, and of course, dad's kind of a jerk. I wouldn't say jerk. He's like really overprotective. Like, hey, you know, this person who has a history with drugs, you know, drugs and or alcohol, and they're going to be taking care of my child. So he's really skeptical and doesn't want to hire Mallory. But the mom loves her, and little 5-year-old, I think he's 5 or 6. So Teddy has this artistic ability, right? So Teddy draws pictures, loves to draw pictures. And most of his pictures are normal, but then he tends to draw creepy pictures, creepy violent pictures. And they don't start out violent. So like during the interview, Mallory is going through, you know, his pictures with him, like, oh, look at all the wonderful things he's drawn. And, you know, mom's like, oh yes, he drew this, and oh, you know. And then this picture of like Teddy, this drawing of Teddy and his imaginary friend is in the pile, and mom didn't realize she left it in there. Picture is creepy, you know. It looks like something straight out of, you know, The Grudge or The Ring. Teddy has an imaginary friend, Anya, and Anya tells Teddy stories, and he draws what Anya tells. You know, he basically illustrates the stories for her. So his drawings, the story that Anya is telling him, gets progressively violent and creepy throughout the book. But then the drawings change. Like they look like something that a child would draw to some pretty high level, you know, artistic work. So Mallory begins to kind of like spiral out. You know, she's creeped out by the drawings, but she's also not convinced that Teddy's doing the drawings himself. You know, she's suspicious that something's going on. Mallory basically kind of starts spiraling out of control, because she becomes obsessed with the drawings and what's going on, you know, and she's consumed with worry. So she basically sets out to investigate to find out, you know, what happened to Anya. And there's this ghost story in town, you know, this legend about a woman named Annie Barrett who lived in her cottage and was presumed murdered. So Mallory becomes obsessed with Anya, you know, the imaginary friend, and the woman Annie Barrett, and she's convinced that somehow these two are connected. So she kind of starts spiraling out, trying to unravel the truth and investigate this. The cliffhanger on this one, jaw was on the floor. Jaw was on the floor. But very good book. Very good. I think I gave this one 4 stars. The last book that I read was Hookshot by Kennedy Ryan, and this is book 3 in the Hoop series. So this one follows our main female character, Lotus, who is the cousin of Iris from book 1, and Keenan, who is, he's kind of a mentor. He's the teammate of August from book 1. So in book 1, they meet briefly, and they have this eye contact when they meet, and it's so tense. Like you already know, like reading the book, like, oh, they probably gonna be in one of the next books, and there we are, right? So Lotus is like an assistant to a high profile fashion designer, and Keenan is an NBA player. Keenan is divorced. He went through a very ugly, public, messy divorce, and Lotus has reached a point in her life where she is swearing off dick. She's like, no more, I'm abstaining. But her and Keenan cross paths right when she's, you know, basically taking her oath of celibacy. But he's like, well, hey, let's just be friends. So we kind of follow their little relationship along as they try to just be friends. Trigger warning with this one, it does mention childhood sex abuse, rape, childhood rape. So, trigger warning there. Just be, take care of yourself when reading this. So neither one of them are really looking for love. Well, I feel like Keenan is on some level. He's not looking for anything. Initially, he's like, hey, I'm just in, town for the summer. Just here to, because I think, so he is based out of California because that's where his team is. But he's in New York for the summer for the sake of his daughter. And that's where Lotus is based. Lotus is based in New York. So that's where they kind of cross paths again, kind of link up, start hanging out, going on cute little fun dates. And, Keenan is this very withdrawn, he's this very private person. And Lotus is this vibrant, he calls her PYT, pretty young thing. So, I think Keenan's like 36, she's 25. She kind of makes him come alive again. He's played it close to the vest. He's been hurt before by his ex-wife. So, it's hard for him to trust and open up. But really good read. And yes, like I mentioned the childhood rape. So there's some healing that happens in this book too. So it's about the romance, it's about healing and dealing with childhood trauma, family dysfunction, things like that are addressed in this. Really good book. Really good book. Out of the whole series, I would say, I think for me, Long Shot was like, I rated it 5 stars. Long Shot was the best out of the series for me. And then Hook Shot was the most fun, and Block Shot was just a really good read, just a really good read. Love this series. Such a good, oh my God, Kennedy this woman she just speaks to me. She's my favorite. So these are all the books that I read. Well, these are the physical ones, plus the audio ones. So all the books that I read for September. So, okay, so now that we got out of the way what I read for September, let's talk about my October hopefuls. So like I said, I don't have a set TBR for October, but I do have all the books that I chose for my fall TBR. So if you haven't seen that video, I will link it. Make sure you go back and watch that. But I have a cart full of books that I want to read throughout the fall season. So I don't have any that I have set for October, but like I said, I can pick and choose from these, some of these, and hopefully read them in October. But I will prioritize some of those. So starting with, I know for sure I want to get, I have my lovely little cart over here right next to me. So I really want to get to The Silence by Tim Levin this month. I want to prioritize this one because it's a library book, so I really want to turn this back in. This is a horror. This one is kind of, it gives the vibe of what are those movies? A Quiet Place / I wouldn't say Bird Box. Wait a minute. I think I did find out that this one is based off of that Netflix movie with Stanley Tucci. I think this is based off a Netflix movie. But like I said, it gives the vibes of the movie The Descent and A Quiet Place. And apparently they did end up basing a movie off of this on Netflix too. So, horror. So I want to read this one for October because I gotta get this bad boy turned in. Another book for sure that I want to get to this month is, and only because I've been dying to read this one, point blank period. Okay, it's October. It's vampires. Hello. Yes. So Vampires of El Norte. This one is a historical fantasy. It's about vampires. It's set in like 1800s Mexico. Can't wait to read this one. I really want to read this one for October. Two other books that I think I want to get to, just because I kind of want to, I need something cozy, are, yeah, I should take the sticker off. Hello, Shalita. Take the sticker off, boo. Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. This is a cozy fantasy about a, what is she, like a bounty hunter turns barista. So, seems nice and cozy. And then I picked this one up for my birthday. This is a, look at that cover. This is Fall Shook Up by Piper Sheldon. This is a total cover purchase. Seems like a real cozy fall romance. So, excited about this one. This one was definitely a total like cover purchase. I mean, it screams fall, right? This one is it's a part of a series, but it's like a standalone series. So, our main character, Piper, needs to rent a house after her boyfriend kicks her out, and our grumpy hottie Levi looks to be a landlord of sorts. And is he a landlord? Is she renting from him? Would be perfect. Good looking owner. Yes. Okay. So she's renting a home from Levi, and he's kind of a grump. She's kind of nosy, snoopy. Sounds like she's gonna get under her skin, maybe. And sounds like a cozy vibe. So I hope to read these four this month. But I also have a couple of audiobooks. Because y'all know I love to listen to I love to listen to an audiobook in the car. Like, I literally finished Blockshot, I guess yesterday, and then this morning I was on my way into work, and I was like, I need a book. I need to listen to something. But I also didn't want to start anything just yet, because it's the end of the month, and yeah, I just don't want to start anything just yet. Just trying to give myself a little palate cleanser, a little break. But I know I already said but. I got a book in the mail. So I think I may want to read that for October as well. We'll see. Y'all know that I'm always so hopeful, and I don't know, maybe not hopeful, what I want to say. I'm always so hopeful about my physical TBR, but it doesn't always work out that well. I think I spend more time like in my car, so that's why I'm able to complete more books via audio, because I'm always in the car. Oh my god, no, I'm not gonna get it. Y'all, ain't no way I'm going to read this book this month. Did I not read the page count on Amazon? Y'all, what? Okay, so y'all, so I've seen Kalila and KK reading Misery, right? And I want to read Misery, but I was like, okay, well, you know, let me try something else. Let me come back to Misery, because let me try another Stephen King. So I read The Green Mile long time ago, way back when, and it wasn't scary. It was more or less, I don't know, it was kind of like, if I can recall, it was more or less eccentric, kind of odd, but it wasn't scary. And this has been years, like years ago. But y'all know I love, well, maybe you don't know, I love Stephen King movies. So, and I remember I'm old enough to remember the original It. And I love the remake too. The remake was great. So I'm like, well, hey, let's read the darn book. And let's read it for October because it's Halloween, right? No, let me show y'all this daggone book. So, first of all, why is it so heavy? Look. Okay, first, that's the cover, right? Y'all ready for the thick check? Y'all ready for this? Yo. Why is it so freaking thick? Y'all. Page count? Let's see. Why is this? When a book is this thick, it has no business being a paperback. Like, literally, it needs a support system. This needs to be hardback. And maybe it did come in hardback, but I chose paperback. Let me see. I can't even. Oh, and the words are small. The words are small. Hold on. Maybe that's a preview. Hold on. That has to be a preview because there's no page numbers now. There's no. Is it a preview? About the author. Okay, that's a preview for something else. Oh, hell no. Ain't no way. This book is gonna take me at least this book.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yo, this book is gonna take me at least. It's gonna take me 2 months or better to read. Ain't no way. She's crying. I am crying right now. Ain't no way. Can't wait. Yo. That's okay. Let's not even count the acknowledgments. What is the last actual page of this book? Sweet Jesus. That's epilogue, so that's part of the book. Mr. King. Mr. King. This book is so freaking long. Why do you need an epilogue? Y'all ready for this? I feel like I've been delaying this. Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. The page count for this book, including the epilogue, but excluding the acknowledgments, 1,153 pages. Y'all, it's so heavy. Like, I want to put it on my food scale and see how much it weighs. This is excessive. This is gonna. All right, I'm done. I'm done. Okay. What did you guys read for September? Did you set a goal for September? And if so, did you reach that goal? What are you planning on reading for October? Because I know what I'm not going to finish in October. I ain't going to finish this. This is not getting finished. But I may attempt to start it in October. Just listen to it. It just flops over and just gives up on life itself. Like, even the book is just over itself. All right, been a dork. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. And until the next one, friends, bye.